Hi, my name is Cornelius Moore, but I go by CJ mostly, and I'm currently taking this video on behalf of Environmental Design Part 1. My current professor for this class is Professor Underwood, and the reason why where I'm taking this video is to explain to you the five keys to mastery by George Leonard. It's a great book. I just got done reading it, and I wanted to elaborate a little more on what the five keys of mastery on and what the five keys of mastery are, and tell you how they apply to my life. So, without further ado, here goes. Here's the five keys of mastery. You have instruction, practice, surrender, initiality, and you have the edge. Now, part one, number one is instruction. It's on your road to mastery. You have to make sure you have a good instructor, a good teacher that's a master of the craft that you're looking to go for, basically. So you have to have it's key that you have a great teacher that helps you build the fundamentals and whatnot towards the craft you're trying to hone in on. Part two is part two is practice. In order to be really good at something, it comes with practice. But in George Leonard's case in the book, he talks about practice not being something that we do, not just being a verb, but actually you taking practice and translating it into a path to mastery. Because without practice, you're without constantly practicing on the craft you're trying to master, you're you'll never really get to that mastery level. So he talks in depth about that in the book, and part three is surrender, or yes, surrender yourself to the discipline. Like if you want to go after something and you have this powerful goal that you want to accomplish, you have to surrender yourself to the discipline. You have to do whatever it takes to achieve that discipline. So which means like you just have to just really like give your mind, body, spirit to this goal that you're trying to reach, or this desire, or this path that you're trying to go on to master a particular craft. And the fourth one is initiality. Now, initiality is a little different. When well, it's a little more to it than just I'm sorry, it's not initiality, it's intentionality. I'm sorry. So to do something intentional, and now what is expressed in this book, the definition may be a little different from the definition you would see in the dictionary, but when George Leonard goes over it in the book to the five keys of mastery, he's basically saying intentionality is like it's like taking it's like visualizing something, but not only visualizing something, you're you're embedded to making this happen. So when you visualize, you keep this vision that you want to master the craft that you want to master. You visualize it. You put a lot of it's kind of like a mental game with yourself. You just challenge yourself to really visualize and hone in it. And once you visualize and hone in on it, then the second part of the intentionality is to go about doing it through strong willpower and a great attitude and desire to go out and actually turn this visualization that you had of the thing that you wanted, the craft that you initially wanted to master, and putting that willpower with the vision, and then going out and doing it and making it a reality. And then, so the fifth, but last but not least, uh, key to mastery is actually the edge. So the edge, some people are like, wow, what's the edge? Like, do I have to live life on the edge? No, what he's simply saying is push yourself beyond the boundaries or limitations set forth set in front of you. So push yourself really when you're going through some challenges and tough times on your road to mastery. Really push yourself through that and really reach hard, because sometimes you'll go through something roadblock or whatnot in your path, and you may think, "Wow, this is my limit." Um, which are when like that's kind of normal for people to think when they're not like disciplined. But once you feel in your mind as though like by this point when you once you get to the fifth key, honestly, when you're at this point, you want to say you telling yourself like, okay, I need to go as hard as I can go and really try and push past that limitation that was initially set forth, and that's the fifth key to mastering. And how this applies in my life is I plan on doing it. My biggest goal, this book, after reading this book, it really gave me an opportunity to sit and think to myself, wow, how can I apply these five keys of mastery to accomplish something I want to do? And so I had to think really hard, and my biggest ambition was to become a global leader, innovative leader of of the new world. So the new world is like the future, my future generation, which is anybody between the ages, I guess, um, 1 years old to 35 years old. Just become that leader and a designer of life too as well. Like design things. I want to be creative and just basically lead people towards a great vision of the future. And so how I plan on doing that is I plan on going to school, learning as many skills as possible. Some of the big skills that I talk about actually in my summary is I want to learn